Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. My name is Kirti, and we are also having Ms. Priyanka with us. We warmly welcome you all to this exciting session organized by Luneblaze, focusing on SQAA Domain 3 Human Resources. I am truly delighted to see you all joining us today. Before beginning with the session, let me introduce you all to Luneblaze. Luneblaze have been dedicatedly involved in accreditation services for 8 plus years, working closely with more than 100 schools, ensuring that they maintain and enhance their quality in education. Accreditation is a formal recognition process that verifies an educational institution's adherence to established standards, ensuring quality and credibility in education. Mandating accreditation for all CBSE schools, CBSE has introduced the SQAA framework for schools. Luneblaze is here to be your SQAA implementation partner, supporting schools in making their accreditation journey automated and seamless, thereby ensuring compliance with CBSE standards and enhancing quality in education. We at Luneblaze also organize monthly training sessions focused on various domains of SQAA, aiming to provide educators with suggestions for improvement of each and every subdomain and standard of SQAA, opportunities to connect with other educators, providing a platform where your connection with peer educators can enhance your teaching strategies to meet the evolving needs of students and education, and expert guidance are esteemed expert speakers who have been outshining in this field of education for years. Now, let me just take a moment to introduce our honorable expert speaker for this particular session, Dr. Manjari Tejpal. Dr. Manjari Tejpal is a distinguished educator with a doctorate in philosophy, UGC NET MBA and B.Ed. She serves as the principal of GEMS Public School and is a recognized CBSE resource person. She is also a UNESCO NCERT master trainer and a CBSE squad trainer. We are feeling privileged to have Dr. Manjari sharing her deep insights on Domain 3 with us. Before forwarding it to Dr. Manjari, let us first outline the sequence of this session. We'll have a brief uh, yet valuable recap of SQAA covering all its 7 domains sequentially. Secondly, we'll start with a concise overview of Domain 3, Human Resources, the focusing point of the session. Following that, we'll analyze its subdomains, exploring their standards and benchmarking statements and their significance, along with offering suggestions for their improvement. Next, we'll conduct a short Q&A session where Dr. Manjari will share valuable insights by addressing a few of the questions from all your participants. Following that, we'll move to a concluding session where we will summarize all the key points discussed for Domain 3. Afterwards, we'll have a look at the latest CBSE circular regarding SQAA. Then we'll explore how Luneblaze assists schools in implementing SQAA. We'll look into SQAA, the session series regularly organized by Luneblaze. Lastly, we'll conclude with a brief Q&A session where all your questions will be addressed one by one, followed by a thank you slide marking the end of the session. After outlining this sequence, I encourage everyone to participate actively and ask questions. Please feel free to utilize the Ask a Question feature for asking all the questions you're having. Stay tuned until the end for details about feedback forms and participation certificates. Having that said, let's welcome Dr. Manjari Tejpal. The session is yours, ma'am. Please take it further. Hello.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're perfectly audible.
First of all, thank you so much, Kirti, for this elaborative introduction, and I'm really humbled. I'm glad to be part of today's webinar. So, good evening, everyone present here. My dynamic educators who are already doing a great job, and your presence here today is clear evidence of your dedication to bring the transformation in education as guided by the national education policy. So welcome once again to be part of this SQAAF session. And before I begin and talk about domain 3, that is human resource, I would again, I would reiterate on why SQAAF, what is SQAAF, and what all we can do with SQAAF. So we all know, as abbreviated, SQAAF is School Quality Assessment and Assurance Framework. Basically, it is set of standards and best practices so that individual and institutional excellence can be achieved. We all know that institutional excellence can be achieved only if individual excellence is achieved. So it is our uh, responsibility to do the hand holding of all the human resources which are associated with this school. And why SQAAF? Because we know there are changes which have come up through national education policy, and what we are looking for is quality education to be imparted for the learners. So SQAAF basically set the benchmarks and best practices in teaching. It also helps meeting global standards. We know that the world is now a global village. See, this is one phrase which I feel I'm hearing since late 90s. But during that time, though it was said, it was a regular word to be used in management that the world is a global village. But actually, now is the time when it's a global village in true sense. In the morning, you find a person here, a person is working in one country and is moving to different countries regularly. Even for education, number of children are moving out of India, and many are coming to India also. So to meet these global standards, it's important that high standard of education should be set. Another thing, it's something we must understand that SQAAF is non-threatening, and it is basically empowering us educators because it helps in doing self-assessment, finding the gaps, analyze those gaps, and then take the corrective measures. Moreover, it also will help us in maintaining the quality. So that's something why SQAAF and why so much emphasis is there on SQAAF. Remember, as per what the definition says, it is self-reflection. Until unless there is self-reflection, we cannot improve. Till we know what we are doing wrong and what we are doing right, we cannot achieve excellence. That is why self-reflection, it's simply like, creating do's and don'ts for ourselves, finding important areas for ourselves, what is to be done, and what more can be done. Moreover, for this, it's again important that accountability is established, though school head and principal is considered to be accountable for everything. Long-term goal and the overall improvement of school is becomes the bigger responsibility of the principal. But then, the smaller responsibilities are given to different members associated with the organization. And for the achievement of that particular set target, that one person or one department is held accountable, self-reflection, and whatever we are doing, it has to be done in a collaborative manner and find new ways. It is going and thinking out of the box. So keeping all these things in mind, SQAAF framework has been established so that it becomes easier for schools to reflect upon and find the path towards excellence. Kirti, can we move on to next slide, please?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes, so first of all, we must understand what is the vision, though I have touched upon what is the vision of SQAAF. It is basically to provide quality education to students through standardized instrument. You know, this one thing we must understand, that until unless the measuring instrument is standardized, we cannot achieve the right goal or right target. It is simply like, it is almost like, when we measure a particular line or distance, there is standard set of measurement. If it is long distance, we measure it in kilometers, and that kilometer has been standardized. Similarly, this is an standardized instrument to check whether the education imparted is of required quality or not. And this is a self-evaluation and external assessment benchmark. Basically, it is done in a manner that we can set, or we can ensure that our children are able to adjust and adopt according to changing socioeconomic and cultural context. After vision, I would say, what are the objectives? Why SQAAF? Why only SQAAF? See, first important thing is that it gives us chance to review and reflect. I believe that whenever we do something, it's important that first thing, after doing a task, we must do the reflection. We must sit, think what went right, what went wrong. And as educators, I'm sure you're already doing it. Even a small event that takes place in the school, there are always meetings which are conducted, and review and reflection takes place, so that we are improving next time. Another thing is, self-endorsement. We are doing it ourselves. We are taking responsibility and onus of what we are doing and what we are saying. It's not that somebody else is coming and telling us that we are doing right or we need some improvement. It's something we have to identify by our own selves. Then setting high standards, because we all know that SQAAF, we have gone through that. We are aware that SQAAF, the performance indicators basically there are 4 indicators which says that we are either on level 1 or level 4, which is transient, inceptive, transient, stable, or dynamic. So, a set has been, rubric has been set for us, and we have to ensure that slowly and gradually, whatever and wherever we are, doesn't matter. But how we proceed further to reach the topmost level, which is dynamic, is important. So we are setting high standards for ourselves, then optimizing learning environment, so that each child is getting similar kind of education. Adapt to change, innovation, global preparedness, responsibility, and accountability. I hope we all are aware that these things are important in any institution or any task we take over. So with this objective and this vision, SQAAF has been brought in place. Kirti, can we move on to next, please? We are aware that SQAAF has 7 domains. These are 7, working structures or working pillars of any school. The most important is curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. Then infrastructure, because whatever curriculum happens or whatever curriculum delivery happens, it has to happen in some place. So infrastructure, which can support curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. And we have infrastructure, we have curriculum, pedagogy, but who is going to deliver? Who are the people who will be impacted? So human resource. And now we always talk of inclusive practices. We take all children in one stride together in schools. Then management and governance, because without management and governance, school cannot learn. Then the leadership principle and the senior leadership team of school. Then beneficiary satisfaction. Beneficiary satisfaction, one thing we must understand here, beneficiary doesn't just means parents or children, but all who are associated with this group. So these are 7 different domains we have in SQAAF. Each has different weightage. Human resource has a weightage of 10%. Next, Kirti. So today, that's where we come in. Today, we are going to take up domain 3, that is human resource. Uh, Before I proceed, can I ask everyone, you can just post, what do you understand by human resource? What, according to you, is human resource here? Can we have some responses, please? Kirti, can you look into the responses we have from the participants?
Sure, ma'am. I will be reading if there are any, but right now there are
Right now, there are none.
no.
All right.
Uh, there is one response. Um, they're saying teacher, learner, staff and management people, talent in the organization that conduct the processes in the school, means
Great.
people working, stakeholders related to human staff, mentor and facilitator. Ms. Jyoti is saying it is basically using a human for any service by developing their skills. Uh, HR
Yes, I
depart
can see.
HR department in a company that is responsible for dealing with employees.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your response. All these things are part of human resource. But one, I would just like to extend it further. When we think of school, when we talk of school, yes, somebody said technical person, somebody said housekeeping, principal and other staff, learner. Agree. All of them are there. Then somebody said stakeholders. So stakeholders means all these along with parents. Very nice, very right. All these people who are associated with school are human resource. Remember, along with these, the community where school exists and where somehow school is fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, resources who are working for common goal. Thank you so much. I'm just adding on further to it, along with whatever you have said, parents, learner, teachers, housekeeping, technical person, anyone who's working in the school, stakeholders, all are part of human resource. Along with this, we must understand that community is also part of human resource. Community is the place where school is functional, and alumni. We must not forget alumni, though they are not part of the school anymore. But when they talk about school, they'll talk, if we have provided them quality education, they will always hold school in a very high esteem, and they'll talk about their school in a very positive manner. So they are also the one, also the group which is part of human resource. So in crux, we can say that human resource are the one who basically are impacted or can create an impact in general in the community where they exist. So when we are talking about human resource, we have to look into all these categories: children, teacher and staff members of the school, which includes housekeeping, which includes your transport, which includes your, Mali and others, then parents, then your alumni, and your community. Uh, when we talk of human resource, and when we talk of human resource who are directly in the school working for the betterment, or working for the betterment of children, or working towards creating a learning environment of students, in HR domain, we as leaders, we as educators must focus on competence and development of teachers and other staff members. Basically, we must have policies that promote a nurturing working environment in the school, and working environment for teachers, admin, and children are also working there. They're working towards their learning graph. So we must create a conducive environment for students as well. Along with the parents, we should have this open door policy where parents feel welcome. They are ready to become partners with the school for the learning and overall growth of their children. Along with them, community association is also important, because whatever children do, they ultimately are going to be part of this community. So community association also plays an important role. And in school, when we discuss about HR domain, we should cater to and look into all these 5 areas of human resource. Uh, we all are aware, we all talk about human resource, and when we talk about this domain of human resource, which is the broad area of school functioning, we should understand there are subdomains. It has 5 subdomains and standards. That means the aspect that define each subdomain is called as standard. And in standards, we have assessment rubrics, which tells us whether the school is in inceptive stage, transient stage, or it has become stable, or it is dynamic, ever changing. So keeping all these things in mind, we must work and look into the aspects of our school for the improvement and ultimately achieving the dynamic level of our assessment rubric. When we are talking about human resource, specifically teachers and staff, we should understand that the recruitment should be dynamic, recruitment should be educated, because that's one first step while building the human resource in the school along with students to cater to the need of learners in the school. The first step is recruitment, selection, and induction, and then performance management, staff development, compensation and benefits, then staff duty care, and retirement. All these things are to be looked into so that the staff who joins our school stays with us for the long, and always consider school to be part of its family, and is ever ready to devote and give as much as possible for the benefit of the school. So along with, I have one question here for all of you. Which HR practice do you think would most improve CBSE school under SQAAF? Mentorship, feedback loop, staff wellness, or inclusion workshop? What do you all think? What is it that comes to your mind? Mentorship, okay. Miss Nishi said that it is mentorship which is most important. Then feedback loops. Mr. Praveen Tripathi also says that it is feedback loop, inclusion workshops, all are equally important. Yes, some few of them are saying it's all of them are important. I also agree with you. It's all which are important. Mentorship, feedback loop, staff wellness, inclusion workshop. All these are equally important HR practices which can help schools reach a good level, reach on good level in SQAAF. Staff wellness should be given a little more priority. Jyoti, you are right in this. Yes, we must give a little more priority to school staff, because yes, it should be, these should be prioritized, because school staff are the one who are delivering what is expected. So, their wellness should be kept on priority. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Rajiv, you have raised your hand. Is there anything you want to ask? Kirti, can we move to next slide, please? Can I proceed, please? Mr. Rajiv, if you have any query. Shall I proceed then?
Yes, ma'am, we can proceed. If any one of them is having any question, they can put it in the chat box.
All right. Thank you so much. If you have any query, please, instead of raising hand, you can put it in the chat box. Later on, we'll take all the queries. Fine. We already have discussed and taken up that there are 5 subdomains. school staff, teaching and non-teaching, students, parents, community, and alumni. Yes, please, next. Next slide, Kirti. Thank you. Thank you, Kirti. I'll take up the first one. We'll start taking each subdomain separately. So one is school staff, teaching and non-teaching. In this subdomains, there are different standards which are being set. We know that when we talk of school staff, recruitment policy is important. Then for support for once the staff enters the school, induction is important because each school has a different ethos and different work culture. So it is the role of school management to ensure that there's a strong induction program or very structured induction program in place to induce new teacher or new admin staff in the system. Then another thing is staff appraisal, which should be supportive and developmental. Later on with this, after supportive staff appraisal, capacity building for teacher through collaboration, which actually tells that we are committed. We are committed so that our teachers are improved and ultimately our children are benefited. This learning should happen through reflective and experiential learning ways. It has to be complete, system-oriented thinking or, process-oriented approach in schools. Then salary, which is being given to teachers, should be as per the state norms, and regular appreciation and staff incentives should be given. Incentives always cannot be monetary, should not be monetary. It can be monetary plus other ways of incentives. There can be some family dinners can be arranged. Some holiday package could be given on achievement of the staff. Such things can be put in place, can be bring into the system of school so that the staff associated is happy, and happy staff will make a happy school. We must all understand this. Next, please. With 3.1, this is school staff. That is third domain and the first standard. I like to take up the this dynamic evolving level so that I can give you some examples what can be done to reach up to this level. See, when we talk about the first part, this is school staff, we always say, yes, the recruitment happens. We are all recruiting staff as in when we feel the requirement. But fun thing is that we should have everything in writing. We should have a structured standard operating procedure for the school. If you do not have, start creating it. And it's not that difficult. Every department in the school, every member in the school is doing something or the else. As a principal, as an educator, you can start jotting down what you are doing. If you're principal, you can ask every employee in your school to jot down what are different roles and responsibilities they are taking up, what are different tasks they are doing, and with the help of this, you can create roles and responsibility of the HR policy. Then what all offerings you are being doing, all those things will become part of HR policy, but it has to be made structured so that when your employee joins in, you can simply hand over that manual to the employee, which will state and explain everything about the school system, including HR policy, including the code of conduct in the school, and you can always ask teachers to go through that properly, and maybe you can even conduct a quiz with the new joinees, new staff in the school to know how much they have understood the code of conduct, HR policy, and other systems in the school. Then, moreover, I observed during my tenure as an educator that in some schools, they're very, of course, appraisal happens, but generally we look into for appraisals when we see how well the students have performed. Only on the basis of that, either appraisals are given or the appraisals are done, which are somehow biased by the management, by the school leaders. Not always, but at times it happens. So even the appraisal policy should be in place. There should be, the appraisal should happen in 360-degree form, where self-appraisal by the teacher happens. Then, one-on discussion by the school leader should happen with the teacher. Also, it should not just happen at the end of the year. You have to bifurcate, maybe 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times in a year. You are sitting with the teacher, discussing what the teacher has done and what more is expected from the teacher and other admin staff of the school. That is very, very important. Then you can also take feedback from the students, but to make it unbiased and very objective, you have to be very, very smart in designing the tool for the feedback to be taken from students. Because at times it happens, a teacher maybe not very good, but she's very good in communicating with children. So children love the teacher. That also is important, that teacher is building good connect, but along with that, the subject delivery is also important. So when you take the feedback from students, you need to make these things also part of the feedback form, to understand that in what ways teacher is really appreciated by the students. It has, again, from the students, we must understand a connect is important. Student should love the teacher because she is connected, she understands their situation, she supports them, she handholds them, and of course the delivery of the lesson. Then feedback from the parents, which can be taken either directly, informally, or formally, or you can even create your Google Forms, and the links can be shared with parents, where they just have to mark on agree, disagree kind of scale. This way you will be able to look for the feedback from parents. Then peer, for a feedback from peer, you must encourage your staff members to go for peer observation. That means they should go sit in their colleagues' class, find out the areas, find out the activities or work she's doing in the class which they would like to adopt, or what are the things which feel they are not going to do in their class. What are the things which they feel should be negated from the teaching to make teaching more effective. This way you can create a 360-degree policy for staff appraisal. And afterwards, along with this appraisal, you should have this feedback and forward mechanism in place. And for feedback feed forward, as you are already taking this from staff members. Suppose their peer have submitted a report, it should be done in writing for the evidence. It should be done in a written form, and that can be discussed with the teacher. You can ask the teacher what the leader of the school should ask the teacher about how teacher feels, in what way she is good and effective, and what are the areas of improvement. After listening to the teacher, you can come up with your own suggestions and suggestions given by her peers. So this way, feedback and feed forward mechanism can also be put in place, and accordingly you can ask teacher to fill in their improvement plan if there is any requirement majorly. And even though you don't feel there is majorly anything else is required, but teacher should give what 1 or 2 thing teacher is going to adopt to make her lesson more impressive and more engaging for children. If you are able to follow all these things, school can easily achieve the dynamic level in school staff domain. In school staff subdomain. These are not very big or huge things. These are small steps which you can take, and all these can be brought in as a part of standard operating systems. Once it is standard, is part of standard operating systems, your process in place, it becomes much easier and smooth for all of us. Next, please. Yes, here are some suggestions in this same thing. The school recruits qualified, competent teaching and non-teaching staff that is sufficient in number to support fulfillment of school mission and objective. I would like to suggest that I'm sure in everybody's school it is being done. First of all, you must find out the requirement. You have to number of classes you have, the admissions, your admissions are there, the admissions new and old, keeping in view that what is the general withdrawal from the school. As per CBSE, it is one teacher per 15 students. Accordingly, please make the requirement. And afterwards, school can recruit, train, promote teachers, and then promote teachers from probationary to permanent positions based on their experience and expertise. For recruitment, you can go for video interviews, virtual job fairs, online assessment to widen reach, saving time, cost, and attracting tech-savvy educators. Indeed.com is one very good place where you can have some good resources available, and they are from wide area, not just your own city. Then you can also incentivize your present teachers. Many schools I've seen are already doing it, which is a very good idea. So they bring in the best possible resource. Then it is up to you, up to the school management, who is going to interview them to decide whether the teacher is suitable or not. Once hired, the teacher, your own school's teacher who has referred, can certainly be incentivized. Moreover, support teacher wellness with programs promoting mental health, stress reduction, and overall well-being, which is crucial for recruiting top talent. Uh, while working in corporate, I observed that this was a regular thing. The in corporates, number of parties are organized, which are not just fun and food parties. A lot of games are there. Games in terms of management games, fun games, where staff engagement is there. They would also organize some hiking plan, going out on for mountaineering, taking a trip out for all these staff members, where they will be just going and spending time on hilltops, traveling. All these things always create a positive work culture and environment, and staff feels being appreciated if you do such things. For school, all the staff members in school I've seen are under a lot of stress because the workload has become humongous. So they have to become quite planned to become comfortable with the kind of present scenario. To cope up with this scenario, they need to go in for health and wellness programs where you can organize for meditation, yoga programs, some stress relieving workshops. So if your school, if the management is able to become part or take part in all these things, the staff which is presently in the school will be happy, will be talking all good things about the school to others, and you will have number of resources ready to join in your school. Kirti, next please. So next substandard says the school induction program lays strong foundation for productive relationship and high standards of performance. We all agree that that's true. Once you enter a new school, you join a new school, you are actually, at loss what to do, where to go, to whom we should connect with. So what is very, very important, that there should be somebody, maybe somebody from your senior leadership team, or somebody from HR, somebody from admin, who can take teacher or any staff who has joined for a round of school, explaining about school, telling about different areas in school, and after the joining, a strong structured induction program should be put in place so that teacher understand the systems of the school and what is expected from her. Like we were talking about appraisal. So it should not happen suddenly that you are telling that for your appraisal, it is important that your children are retained, and you are also along with teaching properly in your classroom, along with effective teaching, you need to bring in admissions for the school. So everything what you talk should be given in writing to a new joiner. This always will boost the morale of new joinee, because he or she will feel that they understand the systems and can contribute for the benefit of the system. There are some suggestions for this. School recruits, train, and promote teachers from probationary to permanent position. Yes, when teacher joins, all these schools generally put teachers in the probation period. After probation period, a review should happen. Review, if suppose your probation period is for 6 years, so review should not happen at the end of 6 months. Sorry, 6 months. So review should not happen at the end of 6 months. 6 months. Rather, you should sit and review that teacher or staff, whosoever has joined, after every 2 months, giving feedback and feed forward. And on the basis of that, if the achievements are up to the mark as per schools and management's requirement, the staff is doing well, staff can be promoted from probation to permanent position. And then using game elements like badges, leaderboards for the induction program to boost engagement, motivation, and completion rates for new teachers. I think it is a good idea if you have some YouTube or online kind of a kind of induction program where teacher can learn about the school and school systems at his or her own pace. After every video session, there should be some quiz. Conducting that quiz will also reflect how well teacher has understood the system. And suppose with the quiz, we realize that teacher is not performing very well, teacher can go through that video lesson again and retake the quiz. So if such things are done, this will boost the induction engagement program, and also it will motivate staff members to become better on the leaderboards. Otherwise, also if not online, you can conduct your induction program personally. There you can recruit a team, you can put members from different departments of your school to conduct the induction program. And again, at the end, quiz is a very good idea. You have the quiz, and quiz will always help, and you can put the names on the leaderboards of new joinees, that how well they have performed at the induction program. And another example is you can create brief module on teaching strategies, classroom technologies, educational trends, as I told you, that on mobile app or YouTube lessons can be created. Then another thing is you can set up online peer communities for new teachers to collaborate and share resources and solutions with peers at similar career stage. Suppose a teacher has joined in mathematics department, so there should be online peer community of mathematics in your own school, so that best practices can be shared. Generally, it happens that in schools department meetings take place. These department meetings can take place online also. We need not to have teacher in the school all the time. And online also, they can share their best practices, what went well, what worked for them in the class, what did not work them for the class. And also you can, during these kind of online department meetings, each teacher can also present the lesson, so that others can give feedback and feed forward, and ultimately the lesson which happens in the class is up to the mark and the requirement. Can we move on to next, Kirti? Fine. So next comes your staff appraisal, which it says that staff appraisal should be supportive and developmental process to ensure positive outcomes of the students. It's important because it supports and motivates staff members to deliver effective teaching and ultimately enhancing learning experience and academic achievement. When we talk of staff appraisal again, we have some good suggestions for you all to follow. We can involve teachers and peer review in the appraisal process by encouraging self-assessment and goal setting for teachers. I would suggest here that you can create one observation sheet in school, and observation sheet should be shared with the management, with the school leader and teachers. keeping various criteria. You'll have to decide the criteria of teaching, in other words. Suppose for your lesson, you can request your peers. You can also request principal to come and review. Principals generally go for observations. So during observation, once observation is done, given marking on different aspects of classroom teaching and management, one thing can be added, that what were the strengths of the lesson, what were the areas which needs improvement, and in the same, teacher can also fill in that next time what is it that he or she is going to add in to make the lesson better. So this way, feed forward will happen simultaneously, and this observation sheet can later be used for staff appraisal. Then provide recognition, support, and resources for teachers requiring assistance to meet performance expectations. We all know that teachers in school are overburdened, and they have almost 6 lessons a day. Along with, at times, there are substitution lessons. Many a times teachers feel they need more time, or they need to take up some remedial for their own class. I have also observed, in my case it has happened, I arranged a teacher for remedial, but my teacher said that for my class, I am the only one who will take the remedial. I'm not going to give remedial to other teachers, because I know my students, I know where handholding is needed. So that this way also, teachers at time takes overwork. Teacher takes burden themselves for the benefit of children. So we can provide them assistance in terms of arranging resources, uh, arranging some kind of assistance which can help them. And these small things can, of course, help teachers feel better also. Then get feedback regularly rather than annually. Yes, as I just said, कि lesson observation, I believe सबसे अच्छा तरीका है कि lesson observation form लीजिए. आपके जितने teachers हैं, आप उनको observe करते ही हैं, और टीचर्स आपको भी पता है कि रेगुलरली ऑब्जर्वेशन सेशंस होते हैं. तो उसमें अगर ये चीजें ऐड हो जाए, जहां पर फीडबैक और फीड फॉरवर्ड है, वो रेगुलरली, गोल सेटिंग है, नेक्स्ट माइलस्टोन सेटिंग है, ऑफ कोर्स द इम्प्रूवमेंट विल शो. और अप्रेजल के टाइम पर जो स्टाफ है, उसको भी पता होगा कि मैंने क्या अचीव किया है एंड व्हाट शुड बी एक्सपेक्टेड. और जो आपकी जो मैनेजमेंट है, जो आपके लीडर हैं स्कूल के, उन्हें भी पता होगा कि यहाँ से how the path has been of the teacher, and accordingly the appraisal will happen. Then offer targeted specific professional development opportunities, including workshops, seminars, advanced training based on appraisal outcome. Here I would like to suggest, we all know that with CBSE it is mandatory 25-hour physical training and 25-hour online training. It is mandatory. Trainings are also happening regularly in schools for teachers. Teachers are visiting other schools as well for training. Schools take the training report, but later on, generally it is left out. Teacher also forget. Principal also do not remember what and how the teacher has implemented a part of that training in her class. So we should start implementing those things in lesson plans only. We must ask our teachers that once they have gone for training, what were the learnings of the teacher, and those learnings should reflect in the lesson plans. Only then those will be reflected in the classrooms, and the classrooms will become more engaging and more experiential learning places for students. Kirti, next please. Another standard in school staff is the school is committed in achieving student learning outcome by building the capacity of teachers through collaborative, reflective, and experiential learning. We should understand that when we talk of education, when we talk of learning, till now, years ago, it was always in silos. Science, a separate teacher, separate subject, maths, separate subject. But now we must understand that it is collaborative. So when a teacher is taking a lesson, for lesson planning, all teachers should sit together and plan their lesson, so that cross-curricular linking can happen. Different subjects can be incorporated together. I'll give you an example on this. Recently, my teacher has to take up cyber security lesson with her class. She said that I don't want to stand and teach there. I want my students to understand and learn it by themselves. So she suggested, she asked me, is it possible? Can I go ahead with it? She created one, comprehension, which included this cyber security and safety for students. And for comprehension, she handed over to English teacher so that she can take up comprehension. So ICT and English, both these subjects were taken together, and students would also understand that ICT and English are not different subjects. They can be taken together. Similarly, for mathematics, if we are talking about graphs or any presentation, we should always include ICT into it. The work should be given, which has to be done in ICT lab for the students, by the students. So if we start doing these things, the collaborative, reflective thinking happens. And after collaboration, teacher and student should together reflect upon what the learning happened. Did it help? If it helped, they can proceed further and they can plan more such lessons for the students. Some suggestions, again, examples are establish teaching residency programs with nearby universities, enabling teachers to learn from experienced educators. CBSE is running various incubation centers, where they send us circulars that school can opt for visiting any university in different areas. The universities which are ready, which are open, and they have given their names for this. So they give round to principals, teachers who go and opt for this incubation program. So such residency, in such programs, you come to know that what are the offerings of these universities. During this period, you can build link, you can invite their professors to your school, who can talk about various professions which can be opted and how they can take admission in different universities. What is the way forward? If you start doing these things, it is going to be of great help to teachers and students as well. Then involve local community members as guest speakers and mentors to support teacher development. You can also use parents here. I'll give you an example. There is in a school, there's a parent who was part of some media. So the parents' forte was photography. So on photography day, parent visited school, taught teachers also to take videos and photos, and took a session for the students who were interested in this particular thing. So this way you can always include parents, involve parents and community. We can call people from different departments, and I know most of the schools are already, for example, calling people from fire department to take workshop on fire safety in the schools. Schools have also tied up with the government, and their cyber security cell can come and talk about cyber safety in schools. So all these activities, if you conduct involving parents and teachers, can benefit children to a great extent. You can also partner with local university or college to offer expertise or advanced courses and workshops for the students. Please see next, please. Another standard in this subdomain is the school decides the salary and other allowances as per state norms and center. We already are aware as CBSE schools or CBSE affiliation, it is mandate. It is important that the salary structure created should be as per the state government norms or the center norms. Next, please. Then school provides staff incentives and appreciations. which is important for job satisfaction and ultimately improving student outcome. If your teacher is happy and satisfied, teacher will deliver best in the classroom. Teacher would not like to leave the school and go. So please use feedback forms to get real-time input from teachers about preferences for incentives and appreciation. You can ask teachers how do they like the appreciation to be given. I mean, they want it to be in the form of some kind of incentive or appreciation letter, or or your teachers want a leadership board where every year, every month, best teacher of the month from different departments are being the names are being put in. You have to ask your teachers if the suggestions are given by teachers and other staff members, these suggestions are most accepted by them. Then recognize individual preferences and achievements with gestures like handwritten notes, public acknowledgement, or small token of appreciation. Then you can provide access to webinars, virtual workshop as part of professional development. Then you can also host virtual appreciation events using video conferencing tools, allowing teachers to participate from anywhere. Even it's not just for your own school, but this can be done for your neighboring schools or the schools from different areas. We have seen many organizations who conduct such appreciation programs where they appreciate the efforts of teachers and the staff put in the school for the benefit of children. Next, please. The another subdomain is parents. So we must not forget the role of parents. When we talk of 60-degree improvement of a child, parents play a very crucial and important roles in partnering for the qualitative and quantitative growth of the school. There can be numerous ways where and how we can involve parents and make them feel appreciated and welcome. It's not just we say open door policy. We all have open door policy. Parents can come. Parents we have PTMs for parent engagement programs. So parents can visit schools. Parents can come and take time. Can be part of the school when they need. They can come for discussion. We invite parents for annual functions or annual sports meet. Along with this, we must find a way where parents become more connected and more engaged in day-to-day activities of the school. I'll give you an example. In the beginning of the year, what you can do, you can send a circular to parents that these are different work areas of our school. Any parent who is ready to help us or support the school in any of the work area, please give your nomination. We will invite you and take your services as and when needed. Like in schools, we have a lot of substitution, and that's one major problem. 2 teachers, 3 teachers take off. Subject at times is also affected, and other teachers' work is also affected because instead of doing their own work, they are going and attending and taking that substitution. So you can request parents who's ready and open to take substitutions when needed. So when in the morning you find, and you'll have to keep parents apprised of this, that we might give you an advance information, or we might call you in the morning that after an hour, if possible, please come to school to take the substitution. So if parents agree, you can always invite them to school and request them to take substitution. Then you can also ask parents, you can conduct, student-parent competition in terms of sports, in terms of, dance, in terms of, some kind of quizzes also, general knowledge quiz. And you can also have, parent-child groups, and competition can be held in that manner. Along with this, we always have assemblies, and many times in schools we have special assemblies. So the children who are participating in special assembly, you can always send a note to parent that your ward is participating. You can please come and enjoy the performances. Also, when you have to prepare your children for something, not just one, suppose child A is going and participating somewhere. So we expect, teacher and that child's parent are going to contribute in that. Here also, you can take support from a parent who's very good in maybe presentation, in recitation. We know the forte of our parents, especially the teachers, class in charges always know forte of the parents of that particular class. You can request them that for next 2-3 days, ma'am, please you come over to school and help our children prepare for this particular event. This way, your workload of your children will also reduce, and parents will feel very happy that school consider them to be part of the community and the learning process. Then another thing, you can be already in schools have parents in the PTAs. We have PTAs, we have SNC where parents are already part of it. But along with that, I would suggest these small things which can be added on, and we can invite parents to the school. I remember once I invited a parent. The parent was very good in Punjabi dance. I think it was Gidda, I think. She prepared a wonderful performance of child in some celebrations to be held in school, and our dance teacher could take care of other things. So it was a great relief for us. And at times also during substitution, it is a great relief when we call parents. We even invite in school parents for remedial sessions. So the remedial session are also taken very seriously and effectively by parents. You can do such things, and it will motivate your parents to be part of your school community. Next, please. Kirti, can we move on to next slide? Yeah, fine. Another part is we discussed about the human resource, which is staff, school staff. Then we talked about parents, and let's come to students. Students are the ones for whom we are doing all these things. They are the center point of a school. Parents, community, we as educators are all focusing on ultimate improvement of this particular human resource. So we must start finding ways where our elder children become mentors of the junior students. I'll give you an example. We had to conduct a first aid workshop, but we decided that teachers or somebody will not call anyone from the community. We rather discuss with the senior children who had taken up medical as the subject. They conducted this first aid and safety workshop for junior students, grade 1, 2, 3. And the junior children loved it so much, and even the senior ones were very happy that we are part of it. All schools have student council, and student council is generally involved in various functionings of the school. Along with that student council, my suggestion is that other groups should also be made part. At least once or twice a year, you can give the roles of teachers to those students and ask them to conduct classes. Believe you me, they'll do a wonderful job. When they go teach, the sense of responsibility is much higher in those senior children. And junior ones also really enjoy having these senior ones coming to their class, breaking monotony of seeing the same teacher every day. And it gives a lot of satisfaction to children. We have different committees in school. Children are always part of those committees. But my suggestion is that make children participate actively in these committees. Start giving responsibilities to the children. The learning will become better of these children. I'll just again give you an example which happened with me in my school. A class wherein a group of students were creating some trouble, and it was becoming little unmanageable. We just separated those 4-5 boys from the class and made them sit separately, and told them that from now on you have to study yourself. We'll be there to support you wherever support is needed, because otherwise you're not interested in learning, you're not interested in your classroom. So let's change it. Let us give you responsibility for your own self. After 15 days, there was a change. Out of those 5, 2 started running after teachers. That, ma'am, please, I need to understand this. I went through this chapter. These are my queries. Kindly help me resolve the queries. Few days later, others also started visiting staff room, and they even came to my office asking and requesting for teacher assistant. I said, fine, done, the teacher assistants will be given to you. So I informed all maths teachers that whenever you are free, go and sit in their room. If they would need any help, they'll ask you. And slowly and gradually, within a month's period, there is a lot of change in that group of students. They want to join back their regular classroom. We did not stop them from anything. The activity period went on as it is. Their sports every day. They had sports period also, but they were not part of regular teaching learning. They had to do self-study. They had to complete their work. Teachers will go in for submission, ask for any support needed. Then assessment would also happen. But 1 month's efforts, making them responsible for their own behavior, helped us greatly. So if you really make children responsible for themselves, it can help us and do a better job for teachers also. We must involve children in different aspects of running of a school. Collaboration of students with teachers and administrator to implement innovative ideas and improve learning outcome in school environment. You must take suggestion from students, not just council members. Put it open question, open situation in assembly, and ask students to put their thoughts in the suggestion box. At the end, you would realize that you might find a number of innovative ideas which can resolve a situation or which can help you achieve a better better standard for that particular situation. You can also appoint student ambassadors who represent the school at different events. They will feel really motivated that some extra responsibility is being given to them. Then create feedback committees where students can provide feedback on various aspects of school life, including facilities and extracurricular activities. For this feedback, I would also suggest, as I said, that when you have to take parents' feedback, you can create a Google form. You can do the same for students and ask students to fill in that Google form when they are at home. Because technology is everywhere, and whatever said and done, children are not away from mobile phones or technology. They are using it. So they can use it for a better and more constructive work as well. Next, please. Next subdomain is alumni. Alumni are the group of students which once were part, but now are working somewhere else or have left the school, moved on towards a higher path of their career. We should always find a way to keep track of these students, these alumni. School can create a page where, alumni data should be there. And you can use social media where you can put all these, you can call this as a Facebook page for alumni of so-and-so school. And all of them should be part of that Facebook. But nowadays, children are more into Insta and Snapchat. So maybe a Snapchat group can be created with all alumni. Every year, a new alumni would be added. And, school information or other things can be shared in that group regularly. It can be WhatsApp group also. And keeping a track, suppose a student is into a particular career stream, you can request that student to come and teach present students in the class. If somebody has taken up sports and doing very good in sports, that student can come and take some sessions for the sports, for a particular sport for the students. You can also have, the virtual mentorship fair where these students who are alumni can mentor the students present in the school. When a thing comes from horse's mouth, it has more impact. When a child who is out of school, who has achieved, who is on a career path, is talking about something will give better sense to students than what our teacher says. And even at times, even parents also, whatever parents and teacher says, children of adolescent group does not listen much. So here, when alumni will be talking of the same thing, it will give weightage to the words, and children might start getting motivated. Also, when students will talk to these alumni, there will be greater motivation in the minds of children to achieve higher and take up ways and forms for success. And we can also, schools can also organize alumni art show where various performances showcasing talent and fostering opportunities can be taken up for the current students. We can always, generally in organizations, alumni meets are organized once a year. So such things, but in different manner. At times you can have alumni meet, but many of your students are not in the town. They cannot come up. So, virtual alumni meet can also be conducted. And knowing what they are doing can always be of great help to you. Next, please. Next slide, please. Thank you. Then another subdomain is community. Community is the area where the school is present, which if partners with the school can be a very enriching experience for students, and children can learn and learn a lot with this community, and work for the benefit of community in large. You can I'll just take the examples here. Children can be taken to nearby villages to see what is being done once the crop is ready. So children understand how farmers work. Children can become part of NGOs and do some kind of social service. In schools also, we can run some kind of programs where we can have our children, take children out to teach the teach the ones who are not so privileged, teaching underprivileged. Or we can also tie up with some government schools where resources, our students, our teachers can go and support the students in government schools as and when or in whatever possible ways it is needed. Also, when community partnering happens, if you have this local professionals, they can teach various skills to children. You can invite or you can call potters to teach pottery. You can tie up with different other organizations which can come to school and can help children learn different skills. Then maintain ongoing communication to ensure alignment and address any kind of problem we have. Then when students are partnering with the community, children are actually put in the real world activities, and when they see something do with their own hands, they become responsible citizens. The responsibility thought process is built, the responsibility will come in the minds of children. Children can be taken to orphanages. We can take students to nearby, old age home to spend time with elderlies, so that they learn and respect their elders at home and feel that at least the ones who are in their home will not go to old age home. And they can also start supporting the orphanages in terms of teaching learning process if it is needed. So empathizing, sensitizing, and this way we'll be sensitizing children and will be making them certainly more responsible citizens in times to come for the community. Here's the next, please. Yes, here we have a case study. Please, I'll read it out for you all so that we can discuss this case. There's ABC Public School, a prominent institution in an urban setting, is facing ongoing challenges related to inconsistent teaching quality and high turnover among staff. Principal Kapoor identifies these issues as significant barriers to achieving sustained academic excellence, fostering a positive school environment. I'm sure many of us are also facing the same scenario in school. Every teachers are being trained and other staff members are being trained. They leave the school in a year or so. Next, please. Let's come to the discussion. Can you please come back? Sorry. Can you come back to the first slide, please? Previous slide. Yes. So this is the situation. I would request everyone to please give your suggestions. What do you think Principal Kapoor should do? Can we have suggestions or the responses from all the participants here? If Principal Kapoor is facing the problem of high staff turnover, what do you think Principal Kapoor should do? Okay, one thing Ms. Kruti said that maybe the staff appreciation is not happening. That is why they're leaving. Talk to the teacher first. Staff need to motivate. Retention of staff by appreciation, increase in salary incentives, feedback feed forward. They must look into work distribution. Leadership should be there in positive manner. Training can provide a invaluable way, maybe not in the proper working environment, unfavorable conditions. All right, so these could be the reasons. Fine. So first thing what we should do in such a case: staff incentive, workshops, one-to-one interaction, identify the hurdles. It may, I missed it. She should feed forward, ask teacher to make PPT before going to the class, find reason. Very, very good, Bindu. Yes, first thing is find reason. I would request everyone to think in this manner. That first thing, Mr. Kapoor must reflect. Fine, must reflect on what is happening. And how this reflection can be done, we should use these 4 hours for the reflection of school system for Mr. Kapoor. First of all, he should review that why it is happening, why my teachers are leaving, why my staff member is not staying for longer duration. And once action research, right? Once it is being done, once Mr. Kapoor has reviewed or looked for the reasons, what is happening, why is happening, how would Mr. Kapoor review this? Mr. Kapoor can talk to the teachers and other staff members in the school to tell or inform about the problems they are facing. They might not come up with the right situation. So Mr. Kapoor can also ask them to put it in a suggestion box or put it as Mr. Kapoor can tell them to submit in writing without writing their names at one place. And after reading that, Mr. Kapoor can review that why this is happening. And then Mr. Kapoor should also find the way to achieve staff retention. So that is, then Mr. Kapoor will have to reflect. First is review, second is reflect upon his own policies or school's policies and what right is happening, what is it that is not happening in the right manner, what is affecting the staff negatively. Once it is reflected, then Mr. Kapoor should respond to it, that what are new policies which will be adopted or implemented in the school so that staff retention is there. And finally, rate the efforts. Mr. Kapoor himself should rate the efforts. What Mr. Kapoor is doing, is Mr. or Ms. Kapoor is doing it right or wrong? Is it in the right manner? Is it really going to help in the long run? Next, please. Create a positive working environment. So all these will happen when you will work with 4 hours. That is review, reflect, respond, and rate. Solution is Principal Kapoor and the school leadership team prioritize the recruitment of educators, demonstrating not only subject expertise, but also a passion for student development and commitment to collaborative teaching process. For implementation, something wrong could be there from management side also. And from implementation part, the HR department, in close collaboration with Mr. Principal Kapoor, should implement rigorous screening procedure to select educators skilled in innovative teaching methods, fostering a supportive and inclusive school culture. I would like to add here is that were discussing all this. We were discussing, you gave up a number of suggestions. You talked about number of situations that might be there because due to which this staff retention is not there. We must also understand at times, the staff which was hired earlier, is not ready to work as per the ethos of the school, or is not comfortable with the working environment or the workload which is being put on the teachers. So I think all these things should be looked into, and it is always, it should, and accordingly, first thing, while recruiting, we must make sure the staff who's coming should be updated and apprised. And we must look for the staff who's passionate about student learning, who's passionate about the work, will deliver the quality work that is being expected. Yes, Kirti. Kirti, next, please. Fine. So when these things were implemented over the years, ABC Public School greatly improved how teachers teach and how happy they are. By hiring and keeping top-notch teachers, the school built a stronger, more motivated teaching team. Teachers felt confident, helped each other more, leading to better lessons and more interested students. So the conclusion is, by focusing on hiring and retaining quality staff, ABC Public School improved teaching consistency, reduced turnover, set the stage for long-term educational process. Here I would, along with these points, I would like to add here that if we are able to retain our staff, they become face of the school. They know the systems. The systems are already imbibed in them. And because of which, the work culture becomes better. It becomes non-threatening. The new ones who join will feel that whatever we are feeling, whatever negative thoughts we have, might go away after some time. The hindrances, the obstacles will go away in some time. Looking at the senior staff, thinking that these staff members are already part of school for last so many years, that means your school is doing something good for the staff. And if such feeling is percolated among staff members, a non-threatening environment is given to staff members after appointing the right quality staff and retaining quality staff, the problems can be overcome in the school. Next, please. Yes, so I have taken up all what I could do in this short period of time regarding HR domain. If you have any queries, please feel free. Poonam Sharma ma'am, she has raised hand. Ms. Poonam Sharma, if you have any query, please either you write in the chat box and I'll take up the queries.
Ma'am, I have noted down all the questions that were asked. Can I read them out?
Yeah, please, Kirti, we can read those queries one by one.
Okay. So, Ms. Samta Batra were asking that will human resource also include parents?
Yes, that is one important subdomain, parents, because without parents we cannot support and teach children in the right manner. So parents are very important part of human resource of a school. They are one important, as in the beginning I told that human resource means the people who impact and the ones who are impacted. So parents are certainly impacted because their ward is with the school. whatever learning is happening with the ward is affecting parents. And parents impact us because if parents are supportive, the learning of child is better. Parents are supportive, it adds to the qualitative and quantitative growth of the school, because the word of mouth always helps better a service industry than anything else. I hope I have satisfied your query.
Okay.
Excellent.
Next, Ms. Kruti Tiwari is asking that, ma'am, do we have any format for feedback or feed forward practice?
You can create your own. If you need any help, I'm sure Luneblaze is there. Luneblaze can guide you in creating such formats. But as an educator, you can also write down a feedback and feedback and feed forward points and create your own feedback and feed forward form.
Okay. So as we have limited time and we are not having that much of questions, can we move forward? The remaining questions will be answered in the concluding Q&A session.
All right, fine. Then we can do it later on. Yes, Kirti, can we move on to the next slide, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I would conclude by saying that by optimizing human resource through CBSE SQAAF, schools can cultivate a developing ecosystem where empowered educators ignite students' success. Ensuring a skilled, motivated workforce leads to improved teaching, learning, and overall school effectiveness. Yes, if your staff is motivated, if they feel being part of the school, if they feel being valued, they surely will deliver to the highest of their capabilities. So it is the job of school leader, school leadership, senior leadership team, and the management to ensure that staff is motivated. And believe you me, staff is motivated not just by the salary hike, but just small words of appreciation, small tokens of appreciation given to them is also a way of motivation. Along with that, if we are arranging some small get-togethers, some activities which are benefiting them, some sessions on meditation, arranging for some medical welfare sessions for them and families, arranging for medical plan for them, are all small things which can help the staff of the school motivated and associated with the school for the long time. Next, please. Next, please. Yes, there are many people at times who feel that is SQAAF mandatory. Yes, we must all understand that it is mandatory. Along with this, I would say that don't forget that it is non-threatening. Non-threatening means it's self-assessment. It is your own reflection. How do you feel about it as an educator? Are we doing the right thing? If we are not doing as what is required, what is the next way? What is the way forward? What more we need to do to achieve these set goals? If, as I said earlier also, it is system thinking approach, it is process oriented. Once proper processes are made ready, once all processes are put in place, everything becomes smooth and easygoing. So this is something we must remember, that it is mandatory. Every year we have to go through the SQAAF process. Each school has to fill in SQAAF, and accordingly the rating of the school, or the percentage where you are, the level where you are is being decided, and it is a set guideline for the school to improve and to work towards the improvement. So I would just say and end with this, saying with this that we as educators have to reflect, analyze, find the gap analysis, put an improvement plan in place, and work towards the achievement of the set and desired goal. That's something we must never forget. We are able to achieve this we are able to achieve the standards set by the SQAAF for us. We must never forget that education is the key to success, and teachers make the lasting impact on the lives of children. So let's go ahead, move forward, and make impact on the lives of children. Let's make schools a very happening place. Let us make it happen what is being expected from us by the National Education Policy. Thank you. And now I'll hand over the session to Priyanka. She will talk about that how Luneblaze can be of aid to each one of us. Priyanka, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Manjari ma'am, for the great session. Now I'll be taking ahead this session by providing you all an overview of Luneblaze. And I'll be telling about how Luneblaze will assist you with the, all the documentations and policies. So Luneblaze, having 8+ years of experience in accreditation, Luneblaze help schools with SQAAF implementation, as it provides an end-to-end solution for the accreditation and assessment. It also helps schools, to organize and manage their data, all the required documents and policies for SQAAF, which Manjari ma'am has already discussed and informed you all. So basically, how Luneblaze will assist you. So Luneblaze will be assisting you by providing documents and evidence creation. And we all know, as per SQAAF, a school has to prepare, around 1,500+ documents. And for that, we will be providing you all the required pre-framed sample documents, policies like curriculum, calendars, etc., with improvement plans as well. Kirti, can we please move on to the next slide? We also, assist schools in SQAAF filing on CBSE portal every year to get a better level. And if we talk about faculty training, we do provide faculty training by conducting monthly training sessions with our SQAAF experts. And as I already told you, we help schools with SQAAF implementation and also help schools with managing their, workflow. And we do provide 24/7 support via mail, WhatsApp call, or whenever required. And we do audit your forms or audit your documents as well by, we will analyzing your journey towards SQAAF by reviewing your documents and will be guiding you accordingly. We are already supporting 100+ schools in, the SQAAF journey, like GD Goenka, DPS, internationally as well, like Indian language school, etc. And we also look forward to assist you in your SQAAF journey. So this was the basic overview of Luneblaze. Now how it will be assisting you with your SQAAF journey. So for more details and for the demo of our product, please connect us on the number mentioned below on the screen. We will surely assist you on that. And thank you so much for now. I'll ask Ms. Kirti to please take over the session.
Thank you very much, Priyanka ma'am, for such a beautiful explanation of how Luneblaze assists schools in their SQAA accreditation journey. Moving further with the session, we at Luneblaze are dedicated to fostering learning and growth, and our webinar series is a key part of that mission. As you all can see at the screen, we are organizing SQAA training sessions starting from April. Our next SQAA training session is expected to be organized in the month of September on the SQAA Domain 4 inclusive practices. Having said that, let's move further with concluding Q&A session so that all the questions asked by all of you are answered. And please keep putting all your questions in the chat box and we are happy to answer. So, ma'am, can I read out the questions now?
Sure, Kirti.
Okay. So, Miss Prasanti is asking, please resolve salary-related issues.
Salary-related issues in what terms, Prasanti? You have to talk to your management and you'll have to talk to your own principal for solving this issue. I think Luneblaze would not be able to assist you in solving the salary issue.
Should we move further to the next question?
Yes, please. Next, please.
Okay. Miss Beena is asking that staff appreciation works wonderfully. Please suggest some innovative ways for the same.
Yes, I agree. Staff appreciation works wonderfully well. What you can do, you can have this, जैसे the way we go to Domino's and all, वहाँ जाते हैं, वहाँ पर होता है ना monthly star of the month. हम बच्चों के लिए भी लगाते हैं. So we can do it for staff members also, putting star of the month, and you can put the picture and write things over it. You can also do one thing: every day you pick up one staff and write few good lines about that one staff member. And the moment that staff member enters the school, it should be handed over, not by you, but maybe your HR or your senior coordinator, that this is from principal ma'am. That's kind of a surprise thing. The appreciation given to teacher, surprisingly, some writing small note. This always it always gives a very positive feeling. And you can also do one thing: it is not just about not about just the leader appreciating, but appreciation from peer also helps. So you can also do one thing: you can put a board and leave some sticky notes. You can ask everyone to write one good thing about any of the colleague, and every day it has to be new one. So need not to write your own name. So at the end of the day, staff members can come and read those sticky notes, which is very exciting for the staff members. What is there for me today? How many positive notes or how many adjectives did I get from my colleagues? So such thing you can also ask students to write every day. You can give the name of a teacher and you can write the class. Ask the class to write some good points, some positive things about their teachers. All these things can be of great motivation, great motivator for the teachers. I hope I am able to give you some suggestions. I hope these suggestions will help. Yes, Kirti, can we move on to next?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Tony Thomas were asking, according to the job description provided during recruitment, our current responsibilities extend beyond those outlined. As educators, are we expected to take on these additional duties?
Mr. Thomas, as educator, there are some responsibilities. There are some said responsibilities and there are some unsaid responsibilities. So I don't know what responsibilities you are talking about. If you feel that they are going way beyond what was being told to you, you can go and talk to your management. You can talk to your principal. They will be able to discuss that further. But I would suggest that see whether those responsibilities are for the ultimate benefit of those responsibilities being given to you for the benefit of a child. If it does that, then I feel that you must take this happily as an educator. Educator in school, anywhere as an educator, I think you should be passionate, not for what is being told, but what is also not being told. That ultimately how child is affected in a positive manner. If these responsibilities are leading to this, I think you should be happy about it. But if you are unhappy, then your management is the best place to go and talk about it. Maybe you can ask for some salary, you can request for some salary hike, some more perks for you if you are doing some additional responsibilities. So this is your choice afterwards.
Okay. Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, right.
Miss Nishi S. Bhatia is asking, ma'am, in private school, there is no proper incentive policy. What to fill in domain 3?
Can you please repeat, Kirti? I missed out the last line.
What to fill in domain 3?
What to fill in domain 3? There are no incentive policy. Please, if you do not have incentive policy, fill in that you don't have. You will remain at the inceptive level, doesn't matter. But now you have this gap. Start creating incentive policy for your staff members. There has to be some incentives in terms of cash kind. Your management can decide on that. And for all these things, I would always suggest to leaders and the management, my suggestion is that please create the standard operating procedures of the school. If you do not have, best thing is ask your staff members to jotting down what they are doing. That will automatically give you an idea what is happening, and you can put all those things in as the roles and responsibilities of different staff members. And you, as school leaders, you can request in private management groups, you can request management to come out with some kind of incentive policies. It can be related to, you know, admission of a student. It can be related to bringing in a good resource in terms of teacher and staff, in the other admin staff members in the school. Yes, Kirti, next. I hope I have solved the concern. I've given due answer to your concern.
Ma'am, there is one more question. Miss Aparna Ghosh Roy is asking, since I am MA English and Masters in Philosophy in English, still I have given lower classes. What to do and whom to talk because nobody is listening.
Aparna, when you joined, did you discuss this with the principal and management? Did they tell you in the beginning that they are going to give senior classes? Or you ask them that I'm not going to teach junior class, I will teach only senior class. This has to be made clear, Aparna. And Aparna, as an educator, my suggestion is, you should teach whatever children you have with you. That please create an impact on those little ones. If your impact would be good, it'll be easier for you to go and talk that I've done such a wonderful job with these junior ones. Give me one senior grade at least. That's my humble submission to all the educators. When you are in school, and believe you me, Aparna, these little, the lower class children love you more than the senior ones. So please give your best shot as a teacher. That's what your job responsibility is ultimately. And if you feel dissatisfied, go and talk to the management. But first of all, show them that you are a good resource. You are a resource they should not lose on. That can happen if you deliver best to best in these lower classes. Is the next.
Ma'am, I think we have covered all the questions asked. There are no more questions left.
Aparna, I just read. Thank you so much. I'm doing. Yes, that's really lovely. If you are giving your best shot, I'm sure at the end of the session, with your best shot, with your best results, you can easily talk to management and your principal and can present your view. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Kirti, it's all up to you if there are no more queries.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, for leading this fantastic session. And thanks a lot, Ms. Priyanka, for letting us know about Luneblaze. We have all learned a lot, and your insights on SQAA Domain 3 have been very valuable to all of us. A big thank you to all the participants for your active participation and involvement. Your engagement truly made the session very lively and enhanced. Hope you have found this session informative and that all your questions have been answered. We regularly host such sessions on various topics and domains of SQAA. We would be honored to have you join us for those as well. Before concluding, let me inform you that we will be sending a feedback form in the SQAA Teachers Association WhatsApp group to receive all your valuable thoughts and feedback, as we truly believe that your feedback is very valuable to us and will help us in improvising our future sessions as well. Also, the participation certificates will be given based on your responses within the one upcoming week. So thank you in advance for your wonderful feedback. Thanks a lot, everyone. Best wishes for your journey through SQAA, especially in Domain 3. And we look forward to welcoming you again in our next upcoming sessions. Enjoy your day.